Okay, so next, our final guest is someone, because I said the first three guests were new to the show. They had never been guests before. And our final guest is Trisha Thomas, and I think, I think she's been on one other time, I think, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, because I think you were on for What Passes as Love when that book came out. That was the last time you were on the show. And she's connecting her audio so we can hear her. And while that's connecting, you all might probably know her best from her Napoli Ever After series. That's the one. She had several Napoli books. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, wasn't there a TV movie or something?
Yeah, what's the night Lathan?
Yeah, what's an eye Lathan? That's right. That's right. And I saw it. I actually saw it. Now I remember. So, Trisha, welcome back to Black Authors Matter TV. Is the
I don't
audio
think she can hear
working?
you yet. I think she's still trying to connect her audio. You may have to start over again. Maybe log out and then come back in. I don't know if you can hear us.
Is your audio button working on the? Did you see
No,
audio?
she tried to connect the audio and then it said it couldn't connect. So she's trying again.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay. So now we just need to unmute.
All
Oh,
right.
great, great.
Yay.
So, well,
Worst.
welcome back to Black Office Matter TV.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So good to
Thank
see
you for being here.
Yeah,
you.
I think I think you were on in like 2021 or something like that.
It feels like it was yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't check, but it wasn't any later than 2022. That I know. It wasn't 2023 or this year. So,
Yeah.
but because when the what passes as love, I read it, and but I don't remember if I read it before you came on or after you came on. But I really
Oh,
enjoyed it.
yeah, it was What Passes as Love. That was my first
Mhm.
historical fiction.
Right, right.
So now,
And now you have a new book out
yeah,
called. Do you have a copy of it?
I do.
The Secret
Very good. The
Keeper of
Secret Keeper
Main
of Main
Street.
Street.
Yes, this was so much fun to write. But yes, this is the second one. It's based in 1954. My fictional town, Mendel, Oklahoma, because I didn't want to make anybody in my family mad at me. So I made up a little small town that represented a couple of different little spaces, and it's set in the Jim Crow era and about a young woman who is a dressmaker. She designs gowns and she does alterations, and she also has the ability to know whether or not a bride is marrying her true love.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay, so it's like a mystical aspect to
I'm about to say,
yeah.
does it depend on the type of dress she asked for?
it. Was it like just like the
No,
guide that
it's
she get when she's doing the
it's a
fitting?
mystical mystery of a dressmaker. Yeah. But no, you know what? I was a dressmaker for many years. And so this story was just dying to come out of me. And yeah, I loved it. Love writing it.
That's some trivia I didn't know about you. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you weren't you in the fashion industry
I mean,
in there, or did you?
no, I mean the fashion as I got was the design of the gowns. I mean, this is just something that I've always done. Um, I never, took it outside of my own bridal salon. I designed there, and I had two seamstresses and as well as myself, and so everything was made and custom made, and it was just my own work. I make a lot of my own clothes, but I wasn't in the industry per se.
Okay,
I,
okay.
Yeah, I had attempted to work for a company when I first got out of school, and it was a big company. I won't say their name, but their initials are CR. And like they were in every mall. I don't know about now, but um, I did think, I finally have arrived, and to make the the designs, they used to send me into dressing rooms with a camera to take pictures of other people's clothing.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
I'm glad you finished that sentence because I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was the extent of their
so,
design,
so your
department.
job was to not have your designs even considered
No,
for
not
the
even
store.
considered.
It was to take pictures of other people's designs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that wouldn't be fun. If
It
if you're
Wow.
wasn't
a
it
designer.
wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. And I did it, maybe 2 or 3 times before I just collect. I have to go home. I can't do this anymore. It was just it. So that was my fashion industry experience, and I decided to open my own bridal salon. So I did.
Oh, okay. Now, where was it? Where did you have the salon?
Where?
Where? Mhm.
Where in
What part of
California?
the country? Okay, in
In
California.
Yeah,
Riverside?
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. My mom used to live in Moreno Valley once upon a time.
Oh, yeah, that's like around the corner from me. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's an ever-growing area. We always laugh when people use it for the butt of their jokes in these sitcoms and everything. Like they probably have never even been here. Like they don't know. It's lovely.
So you had your own salon where you did custom bridal work.
Yes,
Did you do the whole wedding party or just the bride?
everything. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Top to
Wow, that's nice.
bottom, mother to the
Mm.
flower girl, and everything in between.
Oh,
Yeah, every single
I'm
part.
sure that that's really hard work, but very
skilled work.
rewarding.
It's skilled work.
It was a lot of work. I enjoyed it very much. It, I mean, I probably wouldn't have even stopped if my husband didn't get a transfer. He moved us to Virginia, and so I had to sell, the business.
Oh, okay. What part of Virginia?
Um, we were in Fairfax.
Okay, so that's outside. That's in your area, rather. The
Right. Was this these moves were due to the military?
No, no,
Oh, okay.
no, no, no.
Because my
But
mom was
yeah, that was.
stationed, she was in Moreno Valley because she was in the Air Force there.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's and then when you said you moved to Virginia, I was like, okay, well maybe it's the military that had y'all moving.
Uh, yeah, I think I've always, because I'm from San Diego, so I've always lived around the military, always. But I have absolutely no association with it whatsoever, which is strange. But I always lived in very deeply ingrained military cities.
I see. And San Diego is quite military.
Yeah. Oh, we have every branch.
Yeah, that's near the water, so there's a navy there.
Yeah, quite
Mhm.
military and also
Mhm.
quite law enforcement. We have a
Yeah.
lot of customs and border protection, a lot of border patrol there
Mhm.
Yes.
and field operations.
Yeah.
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 You guys
But
are well protected in San Diego.
very protected. Yeah, so I mean, I've lived in a lot of different places, and I had a lot of different careers, I would say probably more than the average person. But the one thing I always came back to was the design and the dressmaking. And I remember once the film Napoli Ever After came out, my agent and I were trying to sit around like, what next? What do we do next? And I I just I really did not know, because how do you follow up with after a movie? What do you write? And so she knew about the bridal salon, and she's like, why don't you write a story, about, being in this bridal salon around, it wasn't historical the way we had come up with it, but, around all of these brides, and, think of a story around, being around all these brides. And because I had told her all these stories, and she was just like, gobstock, like, this is a lot, and I was really young at the time. So it was always emotional. And so it just felt like it was time to, tell a story surrounding, the energy and the emotion. And I just happened to throw a body in there and make it a murder mystery a little bit. But no one ever died on my watch or in the bridal salon. But I did really, really, really want to tell the story of how, these brides bring their energy into these situations, and you just can't help but want to, give them advice and help them. And, I didn't have the second sight, I couldn't touch anyone and tell what was going on, but I knew, like, almost immediately, as soon as, they would, because it was such a quiet, experience getting fitted, measured, and the fittings, that I would always get this sense about them. And they would start talking, and sure enough, I'm thinking, this is not the person you're supposed to marry, or this is not going to last, or you're stepping into something you probably shouldn't be stepping into. And so I had those experiences all the time.
Yeah, there's coercion sometimes from all kinds of sources. It could be parents, it could be your future in-laws, or the groom. Sometimes it's people get married because they're pressured to get married
I
too.
know. I had a saying that, the brides got married for their families, and the fiancés got married for their
That
for themselves.
okay, all right. Well, yeah, same thing.
So there was always that element that, sometimes I would ask, are you doing this for you? Or are you doing this for your family?
That can be true. I know that was
Mhm.
true for my first one. It was for the family, but
First
my
one.
first one was for the family. It didn't take a long time. You have to get married because you want to be married to the person, and you see your future with the person. So,
Yeah.
so I've been married for 32 years now.
Oh,
But
congratulations.
yeah, 32 years. So yeah, you
That's
have to
beautiful.
want to be with the person that you
Hmm.
and see yourself having a life with the person in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and in the story, I have to say, my character Bailey did her best to try to talk to these brides, is this really what you want? And they always believed it was best. It didn't matter,
Right.
whether they were in love or not in love, it was what was best for them and their families. And I don't think, a lot has changed, but, you know, it's it's definitely one of those situations where you have to say the most minimalist thing. You don't want to be that person that tries to influence someone's, decision.
Yeah, 'cause you don't want to be blamed either way.
Right.
Right.
And,
Right.
um,
Right.
and so, a lot of times for the family is really like their expectations
Hmm.
is, is what, is comes into it. And so we live and learn,
Yes.
you know.
Yes,
Not every decision
definitely.
is the right one on the first time, or just life is choice driven, and some choices are hopefully on balance we make many more good choices than we do bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And life is long, like you said,
Mhm.
there's chances to move on.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and sometimes you have to take them.
hmm, yeah,
That's what
say
I
it.
do. You
So
know,
do you think you'll ever make this book into a movie?
Well, it's of course the dream, of course, always. And it's, being batted around. So, but
Oh,
it just
wonderful.
takes absolutely the longest time. I mean, it takes a year and a half for me to write a book. And, it is nothing compared to how long a film, or should I say a Black film, has to go through the struggle of getting made. It's just a little bit longer, I think.
Well, when now with happily Napoli ever
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
um, what was it like to actually see that story in film? And were you happy with the way? Because the book is never going to be the same as the movie.
Oh,
As much
yeah.
as we want the movie to be just like the book, it's never going to be exactly the same. But
Um,
do you think they did a good job of depicting your story?
I do. That was, gosh, it took forever for me to finally see it. I think I hadn't seen it until I read the script over and over. They had like 10 different versions of the script, but I didn't see the movie till probably a month before it came out. And
Mm.
so I had already, thought the worst and imagined it just being awful. And so when I finally saw it, I was just like, oh, thank you, God. It was, it was just everything, I dreamed of on the good dreams when I had the good dreams, not the bad dreams. It was just really,
not the nightmares.
yeah, not the nightmares. It was like everything I imagined it being. And I was there for the filming on set, so I got to see a lot of the characters and everything taking shape, and it still didn't capture it edited and put on screen and all the beautiful music. It was just, yeah, it was a dream come true. It was perfect to me. And yeah, it was kind of hard listening to, not, reading the things on Twitter like, oh, Napoli. I mean, they were like, most of it was good. I would say 7 out of 10 was good,
But it's
but then
always
there
those three that you look at.
who who were just
It can be
like,
really, really brutal, just heartless.
yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
That's a
Hmm.
So
good
you can
word.
say you didn't like something without just like being, putting a butcher knife in and trimming it.
Yeah, it was hard hearing some of that stuff, but I was just like, what movie are you watching? It was great to me. So that's just how I felt about it. And I still, get that kind of feedback. It's like, this is my favorite movie when I'm sick or when I'm feeling down. This is the movie that I watch. And it's just one of those things I hope carries on. And, they were talking about doing it part two and a series and all of those things. They're still in, like I said, it takes forever for anything to happen. So they're still in, being batted around. So,
Possibility.
mhm.
Now, how many Napoli books were there?
9.
That many? Wow. I thought you were going
Nine.
to say 3 or 4. Wow. Oh,
Wish.
wow, there were 9. So the Napoli books, what? Okay, I know they all have Napoli in the title somewhere. Do all of them have that? Mm.
No, I can name them all.
You
Napoli ever
can. Okay.
after.
Okay. Okay.
Would I lie to you? Not Napoli in the title. Um, Never mind. I just can't name them in order. So
In
Napoli
order.
ever after.
Okay.
Would I lie to you? Napoli married. A Napoli in love. Napoli entangled. Napoli about us. Um, Postcards from Venus. Uh, Napoli in Blue. I
Mm,
don't know if that
wow.
was 9, but
Yes, I didn't even realize there were 9 books.
yeah,
Um, because I
yeah.
think I've lost track of the fourth one. That's why I thought it was only four. Like the one
Well,
with
that's
married in the title. That
well,
that
you just answered the question of why didn't I write a 10th? Because I actually did write a 10th. It's called Meet Me at Maybe. And I was just so frustrated. I was like, when people would be like, when's the next book coming out? Well, did you read the fourth or the fifth or the sixth or the seventh or the eighth
I
or the
know there
ninth?
were other books you could be reading while you're waiting on this next book.
Yeah, right. So I was just like, I'm not. I finished it and everything was done. And I just said, I'm gonna save it. Maybe, for the next movie or series, when it comes out, people have more interest. But for now, I really wanted to do historical fiction. I had wanted to do historical fiction probably after the third book, but you know, um, when you go into that room, it's like, what are you going to do next? And give me another Napoli, and
want to build on what you've already put out there.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I have an audience, this is a great audience. I mean, they
Yeah.
love Venus so much that I could have, just kept going, but I really wanted to do something else. So that is how What Passes as Love and
And the secret keeper
yeah,
of Main
Secret Keeper
Street.
of Main Street.
Okay. When did Napoli Ever After come out? Because has it been
20,
20 years?
yeah.
Because we were selling it in our store. I remember when it first came out when we had our
Uh,
mortar store. And
yeah.
it was like 2004 or five, somewhere in there, maybe.
No, the first book came out in 2000.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so we had the sequels too. We were selling them.
Yeah. Right, right. And that's always hard to, explain to people like you wrote a book 20, 4 years ago. Like, yes, yes, I did. And it didn't become a movie until, 5 years ago. But that it literally had been optioned for film, by Halle Berry before the book was even printed.
Mhm.
And so that was a long wait. It was a very, very long wait. And so I
And a
That's a
tell you,
lot of
lesson in
books that
being
are
patient.
optioned never see the light of day.
oh,
Not
I know.
most of them. Most of the books that are
Yeah.
optioned don't actually get to be turned into films. People just sit on them. They
Yeah.
want the option and they want to take it off
To
the
sit
table
on it.
for somebody else. Right. You know. So but
Yeah.
you do get paid for the option. So
Yeah.
the author gets paid for the option. So
Right.
that's a
Right.
benefit to it.
Yeah. It's like the Supreme Earl's Supremes, the
Yeah, the
Supreme.
Supreme, the one that's on, is it on Hulu and Netflix now?
I think so. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
it's not about
Not
the
about the group, the Supreme.
right.
right. Yeah. But that was optioned like very close to well, mine kept getting re-optioned, but that one was optioned, I think in 2004, and it just came out. So it was 20 years as well. But that is kind of like the thing I was saying about, a certain, you know, skin
Mhm.
tone.
Yeah.
That just, we've got to wait. We just have to wait. And I don't know what they're doing in there, but it just takes longer. The Emperor of Ocean Park is another one. That one took about
Yeah. Uh-huh.
20
Yeah,
years,
that came out a long time ago. I
long
haven't
time ago.
seen
So
that yet. I have to look at it back. I don't know if I have the platform. I can't remember what it's on. Seems like whatever it's on, I don't have. I need to
MGM, I saw it. It was good.
okay. I think I had a 7 day free trial and I saw some other stuff in the 7 day now. Because I didn't want to do a long-term commitment. So I might go back and do a short term, like 1 month, and then turn it off. Because I don't want to have like gazillion streaming services,
Yeah.
I try to limit it to four, or so. And so anyway, Trisha, I'm so excited that you're still writing after all these years. You didn't
Thank
quit,
you.
and you followed your passion of
Yes.
doing historical fiction.
Show us
And
the book one more time.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
the dress. I wanted to see how she was dressed.
Oh.
Yeah, and she had the white gloves and the purse on the arm. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I picked this person out, and of course, the little secret is that she was absolutely a white woman, and I was just like, can you darken her up a lot? And they kept and so they kept putting the screen over it and screen over it, and like I was like, okay, if that, they're like, we can't do it any further or it will change the color. Well, and this dress was supposed to be blue, but because they kept putting the layers and layers and layers over it, ended up black, and so
Mm.
I was just like, that's fine. But I really, wanted to make sure that she represented, us. And so, but I loved her look and everything about it. So I mean, it's pretty much the first time I got asked or was so involved, even in the cover. I never got asked about the covers for the Napoli books, although I loved them all, even when they redid the covers with the afros and the flowers and everything. I think that was in 2015. I love those covers too. So, but this was the first time I got to be involved in the cover. And so really proud of it. I'll show it again.
At the end of the show. So thanks so much, Trisha, for being on the show and continued success to you. I've already ordered my copy of your book. It hasn't come yet. I was hoping it would be here by the day.
Oh, thank you
Yeah, Bobby.
for having me. I'm glad you guys still have this great show. It's important.
Okay,
And
thanks.
I have my
Okay.
t-shirt from last time. I sent you a picture and I modeled it. So yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I have to take a look. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy,
Bye.
happy holiday.
Bye-bye. Have a great night. It
Happy
was good
holiday.
talking to you
Merry Christmas
again.
and
Yes, happy
Happy New Year.
holidays.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.